What makes something a deal? It's not what you think it is. Stay tuned and smash that subscribe button. We're about to talk about cooperation and compliance on the part of your seller.
I'm a hustler, homie. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. I'm a hustler.
So, while everybody out there is doing this the wrong way and they're worried about calculating ARV and NOI, pulling comps, trying to figure out sales strategies that really don't matter, because those of us who are doing it right don't really give a F about what kind of a deal it is before we've won over and have the full cooperation and compliance of our seller. Once you've got everybody's cooperation and they understand that we're all in the same team, and if we don't play nice in the sandbox, this thing isn't going to close and your debt's not going to get paid off and nobody's going to get paid. Once they can wrap their head around that, well, it gets a lot easier to really make things happen. So let's get into this so we really have an understanding of what to look for before we even worry about what kind of a deal it is. Like I said before, a deal is not a deal without the cooperation or the compliance of your seller. So if you learn to read into everything your seller says and does, I'm going to give you a list of buying signs for sellers, which is going to sound incredibly odd, but when you think about it, you're selling yourself and your ability to do what it is you do best. So I'm going to give you the top 3 things that I watch for. We consider these buying signs before we actually push for the close and get our seller to sign paperwork and we're actually engaging them in a transaction. Okay, so the first thing that I look for is that the seller is going to contact us first or call us first unprompted, so they've reached out to you off shotgun marketing, like one of your cars, maybe newspaper advertising, maybe they got your number through a referral, this wasn't a direct mail thing. Or if the seller keeps calling you repeatedly again and again and again, like a desperate girlfriend or a 2:30 a.m. booty call, this is usually a sign that they are ready to go and they want action now, just like that booty call. The next thing that we're going to look for, and this is going to be number 2, is the seller will just flat out tell you, I am ready to go. I'm ready to sell. I've given up. I'm moving out. And the third thing that I'm going to look for as a buying sign before we meet up with them is they're actually going to just on the phone or via text messages start giving you appointments, dates, times, locations. I get home at this hour. I'm home at 5 o'clock every weekday. Let me know when you're coming by. They are telling you they want to do business with you. They want to sell. I mean, if this was the dating world, they're telling you they want to get laid. I'm going to give you our top 3 signs of resistance as well, and these are things that I've really learned to watch for, and these are not going to be monetary things. These are not things that you calculate. These are just going to be traits in the people that we've learned to watch for over the years that tell us that this person is going to be a royal pain in the ass, and it's just going to make the transaction a little harder. First thing is going to be is if they're late to call you or to meet you, they're going to be late on everything, and you are going to see a lot of lateness because they're pretty much in denial. I've said it time and time again, denial is not just a river in Africa. So if you've made an appointment for 5 o'clock and they're not there till 5:36 and they act like nothing happened, expect them to be late on everything. They're going to move out late. The whole thing may fall apart just because they're too wishy-washy and flighty. It's your job to rein them back in, keep it militant. I don't care if you have to tell them, look, I can be there at 5, I got to be out by 5:30, there's other people I need to help. Take away a little bit, be a salesman or woman, it's what you are, and convince them that your time is valuable and it's a privilege to work with you, because it is, right? Number 2, if they want to know why they have to do something or anything, everything you ask them for is going to be a problem. Why do I have to sign this? Why do you need to know how much I owe on the house? And this is where you get really good at your objection handlers. Why do I need to know what you owe on the house? Because when I buy this house, I'm going to have to pay off that debt, or when I turn around and assign the contract or sell it to somebody else, I'm going to have to pay it off, and I can't pay it off if I don't know what that number is. And again, you're going to get really good at objection handling, and sometimes you only got to do it 2 or 3 times, but if you get that blowback on everything, it's just going to be a train wreck, I promise you. Doesn't mean it's not worth fighting through, but you may not want to fight through one of these measly little $20,000, $30,000 deals if you got to deal with a person who's a royal pain in the ass. It's kind of like a hot chick with a attitude. Yeah, you'll put up with them because they're a swimsuit model, but you really don't want anything to do with them after that one night stand. So the third thing that I'm going to look for is just hesitation, right? And hesitation is going to come in all forms, but we're going through paperwork, and here's an authorization to release. I need your name and your social security number, and I need you to sign this so I can talk to the bank on your behalf and confirm everything you've told me is true. Well, I don't want to give you my social security number. Well, your social security number is worthless, okay? Matter of fact, if I was going to take this to one of these Middle Eastern gas stations or someplace where they run like an identity theft ring, your social security number would have no value, and the people who stole it and sold it to somebody else would actually ask for their money back because you can't borrow anything. You're behind on mortgage payments, and this is also why it pays to always work with people in distress and know your objection handlers. But if they give you blowback on everything, or they want to show everything to their attorney, go ahead. You could show everything to your attorney, but I also want you to tell your attorney that if he's got a better idea, maybe he should buy this house, because I guarantee he doesn't. I'm going to give you a few ways now that we assess compliance, and there's a couple little tips and tricks here that I'm going to give you. The first one is going to be completely out of left field, and I really like this one, and it is just ask for something. Ask for anything. A lot of times I've got a number of students where before they even go on an appointment, they'll start talking to a seller about what they owe, what they're asking, what they're worth. Really, who's the mortgage company? Can you send me a statement? We used to ask them to fax it over. Now you can just take a picture, send it over. There's already a free flow of personal information, and that's really what we want, is communication that's just absolutely open. You can ask for other weird things. I know I drink a lot of protein shakes. Sometimes when I'm just in a house in general, I'll be like, hey, can I use your blender? And if they give me any kind of blowback on it, oddly seems to be a symbol that there's going to be blowback on other stuff as well. Or another example that I give people pretty frequently is, I remember a lot of times I'd go on dates from girls in New York, and I'd be like, hey, stop in Little Italy. There's this Italian bakery called Ferrara's. Pick up a dozen cannolis, and when the girl shows up at your front doorstep with a box of cannolis, pretty much she's down for anything. So just ask for things and watch how they give them to you and how freely you get them. If there's any kind of hesitation, I guarantee there's going to be less compliance. If they're going to fight you on any specific thing, they're probably going to fight you on anything. So, ways to make this easier is to just work with people in distress. Work with people on the list penance list. You always have time on your side. You're like Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones, where there is a definitive end to when this transaction falls apart. They're on the tracks. The train is coming. And they don't want to get hit. You can push them off, but you can't afford to get hit yourself because you've got other people you need to help as well. So, if they're hesitating, time will fix that, because they're up this creek and they don't have a paddle. The next thing you're going to do is, if they're unsure if they want to work with you, exhaust all options. Okay, have you tried listing it? Have you tried refinancing it? Encourage them to do everything else, because most of the time it's not going to work, and when it doesn't, well, when you're stuck, call Chuck or whatever rhymes with your name. You should be the last person in line between them and the foreclosure sale. Do you guys want to sell this house? You want to get out? Do you have a place to go? Encourage them and help them move out. Okay, this way if they have any hesitation later, the judge will rule this way. I've been in this position a lot of times. They'll literally sit there and they'll look at the plaintiff, who's the person who sold their house, who's now saying they were taken advantage of, and they'll go, sir, ma'am, even a stupid person knows when you move out of a house, you're probably not staying in it. So when you moved out, did you think, or do you have any written communication or recording that says you're coming back? No? Okay. Bang the gavel, you lose. I hope this helps a lot. Compliance is more important than the type of deal. I'd rather work on 20 easy deals that are $20,000 a piece, where people truly want to sell and are willing to even learn the process and sometimes bring us back leads, than one $500,000 deal where somebody's going to fight me every step of the way. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it helps you get more deals. My name's Chuck Kohout. Always be closing. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. Look forward to meeting you in person soon. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.